Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxford, on the show this evening. It's Port Bear and GB. Evening, Port.
Look at that, eh? Half mute in the first attempt. Started as mean to go on. All right, mate, how we doing? Good to be with yourself and GB, mate. Aye, good.
How we doing, Port? GB, how you doing, mate? Just seen your message. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
It's all right. Port was on the button there, mate. I was just making sure he was coming after you, mate. Aye, good to be on with the two boys tonight. And I'm sure the battle fever's probably at notch 2 now for me, Ox.
Aye. And what's the scale, mate? What's the scale?
Oh, go for 10. Go for 10.
I'm sitting about a 6, maybe a 7. And what I've done in the last 10 minutes will testify to that, Port Bear.
I'll take it, mate. I am sitting at a good steady 7.5, mate. I'm up for it. I was up the week we beat Hearts. I was roaring. I was, getting dead excited about going on to the fortnight towards the Old Firm game, and then the Libby game sort of flattened a wee bit and derailed me. So I didn't expect that to draw against them. Didn't see that coming.
Don't think anybody did.
Yeah. It's just a team that's not won a game all season. I don't know if a bit of complacency had slipped into the team, mate. But already, it's put to bed, it's done. What will be with that as well. And I think, as the battle fever turns up, mate, I think I'm getting more and more excited again, because I do believe we've got the beating of this team in the Old Firm game, mate. I really strongly believe that. For how long? 38 years, you contested this games, and some of them have been really central to determining which half of Glasgow lifts the league title, mate. And that's how important I think this game is at the weekend. And what I mean by that is, I think if Rangers go on and win it, I think that's them done. I think that's them absolutely done, mate.
I don't know, mate.
It's been
an
exciting season, mate.
It becomes hard.
It becomes a little difficult. Yeah.
You've got to keep winning. But I get it.
Yeah.
Mate. I mean, I'm just doing arithmetic, mate. You know what I mean? Listen, I don't think anybody will win every game. Yeah. And I think we are actually the form horses. But how good's your form when you can't beat the bottom of the league, GB? There's the dilemma we're on.
That's it, mate. Sadly, it seems to be with the squad every time they're asked the question, Ox. 9 times out of 10, it's not the answer that we want. You know what I mean? They end up coming away with, like you say, either a draw. Well, it's been mostly draws, to be honest. That's the maddening thing. We've not had many defeats. It's all draws. That's it. And that's been our Achilles heel all season, I think, Ox. We've just not had...
We've had 2 seasons, haven't we? We've had the Russell Martin season and the Danny Rose season. And the Russell Martin season for him was abysmal because of the points. 1 defeat, and I think it was 7 draws, maybe even 8 draws. Yeah, so you've got 8 points out of 9 games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the season. Then Danny Rose come in. And Danny Rose form is championship form based seasons, out of season. But he's not got the 9 games up his sleeve, so we've no room for error. So we have to put Sunday to bed, GB, and we have to perform and win on Sunday. Now, I don't think it decides anything, but if we do, it makes it really hard for them, except Beck's comment about that, really hard for them.
I think it's double. It could be double bubble, Ox, in Sunday, really. Again, flings us back into the title race, and if we get the win, and again, we probably, heavily dent their hopes of challenging for the title. So there's great,
Did you not do arithmetic at school?
What you mean with the points left
Right.
to go for?
We're 2 points in front of them, so if they beat them, right, I get that. We go 5 points. If they beat Aberdeen next Wednesday, they're only 2 points behind us. It's it's a big game. I get that, but I don't think it will decide anything, GB.
I don't think it'll decide like the title there and then, mate. But I do think when you look at their points up against Hearts, then it is a bit of an uphill struggle for them. I think they really, then the pressure gets put on them, and I'm not like to talk about them, but I'm surmising their game at home really becomes really important. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking, like, for us, that we could have a double celebration really on Sunday, in the sense that we beat them, we push ourselves back into this title race, keep the kind of 4 point gap, and then, like I say, it really hampers them, puts them right in a bad mood if we get the win at the weekend, mate. And I think that's what we should be striving for. I think we should be flexing our muscles a bit, mate, at the weekend.
So I just want to win the game. I just want to win the game, but I don't think anything will be settled on Sunday. I really don't. No, if we'd have won last Sunday, mate, we were sitting 4 points clear of them, and we went 7 clear, and they've got a game in hand. It's really difficult for them. But I think, I don't think anything decided on Sunday.
I don't think it's game over, Oxley. I think the psychological blow that it deals them, that it puts them in. I know they've got the game in hand. I get that, right? But if you do look at, probably the form team, in my opinion, in the top four, mate, it's Motherwell. They've got 4 wins, 2 draws. You know what I mean? They've got 4 wins, 2 draws. That mob over there have got 4 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. We've got 3 wins and 3 draws. And then the Watery Farts have got a draw, a win, a loss, a win, a loss, and a win. So Motherwell are probably an actual form team in the last 6 games. You know what I mean? So arguably, so I agree with you that there'll be points trapped, because Motherwell, the emergence of Motherwell and Hearts this season, mate, has been probably a wee bit of a breath of fresh air for the league. To see 2 teams that, have got lower budgets than we have, and they've done very well. And I know that we're the Russell Martin, as you said, Russell Martin's half of the season and the Danny Rowe half. And the other mob across the other side have just imploded. And I know we were all playing at the peak of our powers and the way it should be. That probably wouldn't have been in the situation that they're in. But that's the card that's been dealt this season, mate. And Hearts and Motherwell have took full advantage of it. And rightly so. That's what every team should be doing. They've took full advantage of the form of the old firm, and they've, Hearts are where they are and Motherwell are where they are, and you never know, Motherwell could slip into third, mate, and they could get down to fourth. It's all. I think there's a lot of it bit of play, mate. I do agree with you. I think them top 4 could possibly all take points out of each other, during the split and that as well. So I agree with you. It's not done, but I think psychologically it could finish them.
I don't think anything's decided between us and them. You could have a situation, and I hope no, because I want Rangers to win, GB. If both fixtures are a draw, nothing changes. Nothing changes. We're still 4 points behind Hearts, but we're not out. Yeah. In my mind, we're a point behind Hearts because we've got to be them at Tynecastle.
Mm-hmm. Aye. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think a draw probably help at the weekend is good for Hearts as long as they win their game.
Of course. Yeah. Aye, of course.
But I think for us, I don't know. I think we need to win it. I think we need to show intent, mate.
We make it hard for ourselves, mate, if we don't.
Yeah.
Is that the point, that if we were to draw the game, the last week's draw becomes even sorer, if that makes sense, GB?
And probably the ones before that as well. Ox. I mean, I heard you the other night there when Southside was on. You're talking about the Motherwell, Hibs, and Livy. They draws. Imagine they were wins, mate. Oh.
Yeah, but
I know it's if buts and maybes, but I think that's why we all get frustrated as fans, mate. I think we know where we should be, and I think that's why, like even myself, mate. I think that's why I questioned: is the squad go to Ingham to win the title, mate? I'll put my cards on the table, mate. I don't think they do. I think they'll fall short, mate. To be honest, I think they could easily win at the weekend, mate. But I just don't think they've got the consistency in them to go and win the title.
Does Danny Rowe come in our form's championship form? What there?
Aye, his stock's here. There's no doubt about that. He's got the highest win rate, the highest sort of since he come in. The form suggests that if he was in for the start of the season, we would be in the lead. If the form was the way it is now, for he come in, if he was in, very start of the season, it wasn't your man Martin. Aye, we'd be ahead of Hearts. There's no doubt about that. But see, as much as for me, about eliminating the rival from the title race, it's also about us staying in it. I think that's how big this weekend is. Because it's right on a tightrope right now. It's either we eliminate the rival, or it could be us, mate. It's looking doom and gloom for. That's how important I think this match is. And the weekend, mate, I really do. I think it's a very, very important match. We'll see. We'll see who's got bottle. We'll see who's got bottle, mate. And this might answer GB's question about if he doesn't think the team have got the credentials or the cojones to go and push on. This might answer your question, GB, mate. This might be the one where they'll show you some bottle. And if they do, mate, how would you feel?
I'll put my cards on the table. I've put my neck in the line that we say in the statement I've said, but I still think
we'll need to get Jim's white flag for GB, yeah.
Mate, I'm all in, right? But I think, say, drawn with Hibs, drawn with Motherwell, and drawn with Livy. As much as Hearts was fantastic at home, and I've got no doubt that we're a better team than the mob across the city for Sunday. I just think we've got another match in us, like a Livy in us, mate, coming the rest of this season. And I don't think the rest of them.
I'm going to really upset you, mate. Really upset you. Yeah, and I'm going to have to tell you this, mate. We will draw and lose football games at some point again in the future, mate.
Aye, and that's what I'm saying. I predict we'll probably do that till the rest of the season, mate. There'll be another slip up with us. I just think it's in the squad, mate. We've no goal. I don't think we've got a match winner in the squad, mate. And I'm just being totally honest. Like, I know we're on here to get opinions, and I'm what I say is no white flags, but it's just what you're seeing, mate. And I'm no surprised considering the season we've had, mate. I actually think we're asking a lot of the team to go and win a title.
If you went away to, I'll say Motherwell, and you were going for a league title and you get beat 3-0, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The game before the end of the season and you blew the league, would you get rid of that manager?
No, because I'm not in that frame of mind that Danny Rowe deserves to get
rid of that manager. If you'd went to Motherwell, 2 games to go at the end of the season and get beat 3-0 with Motherwell, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would you think that was a good signal and you'll never lose another game of football? Do you think that could happen? Or no? What do you think?
It's not a good signal to sack him because
I'll tell you this, history look back. Walter Smith took you for Graham Souness, 2 games to go, goes to Motherwell, when he won, we get beat 3-0.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not saying to sack managers, mate.
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, we will lose games of football. We will draw games of football. It's hopefully now we can have consistency for now to the end of the season and be the most consistent. I get it. We away from him, and GB has got a good point there, Port, that the last 3 games, but if we're really honest, the last 3 away games, we have not played well.
No, that's a fact, mate. That's an absolute fact. And you know, I said it last time on the show. Actually, I don't think our form under Danny Rowe has been, you know, outstanding. It's not, and Rangers haven't played, you know, consistently enough and well enough to even probably be where they're at in the league, mate. To claw it back and get back into the title race is absolutely fantastic. But I've still not seen 90 minutes for Rangers this season, and that's including under Danny Rowe. And it's not a criticism, it's an observation. It's a, you know, it's a fair observation. I think that's all. I'm not criticising the manager because he's had to be pragmatic. He's had to come in and rip everyone up. Russell Martin started at the start of the season. He had to add some of his own players. He's had to ask players to play a position, etc. You know, and mix it up at times, get the ball long, just play with some virtue. Oxford, you know, stop. It's not about reinventing the wheel sometimes. It's just about trying to get results. And I think the manager's been good at that. I think he's been good at that and just getting results. But certainly the last three away games, again, like we spoke about a minute ago in regards to, you know, it's 11 points, 2 points dropped, there's a point gained. You know, he touched on it before the show. You know, we'll not know that now until the end of the season. So that point could be the best point of the season so far. If we can put consistency together and then we end up winning by a point, you know, that's how fickle this could be. You know what I mean? So, the form's not been great, mate. But what I'm hoping out for is if that's the form that set us on a path to be back in the title race, if we can put some form together and just finish off now over these last 10 games what we've got, I just think it could end a good season next year because I think, you know, we've not played well yet this season yet, and we've not played to 90 minutes this season yet. So if we can put it together, be new at the end of the season for even give me 70 minutes, more than 45, give me 70 minutes and stop being a reactive team. We seem to be better when we go a goal behind or at half time Danny Rowe gets him in and gets him motivated and G'd up. You always see a difference at half time. If we can be, you know, good and be consistent instead of a reactive type of team, we've got to get, you know, we've got to be inflicted a wound before we actually start to play. Imagine what we'd be like, obviously, if we went ahead in a game. You know what I mean? It takes the pressure off me. You get what I'm talking about.
We did it for part, mate.
Aye, that's right. We did.
We did for part.
Aye, we did.
You're all
But like I'm saying, it's not a 90-minute game, though, wasn't it? No.
I
let them back
would
in
argue. Yeah. I would argue the best we played all season was at Paradise, and we drew 2 each.
Mere complete performance.
Aye, because we didn't win the game.
Aye.
Chance after chance after chance. And maybe 4 would be Aberdeen away in Pretoria, mate. I thought
that was outstanding. That was a good result.
Aye,
yeah.
I thought the
that was a good
conditions
result.
Aye, I thought we
Difficult place to go, conditions.
Aye.
Yeah.
We pretty much controlled the match. Got a goal chopped off, mate. Yeah, 1-2-0. Yeah, I thought that was a decent performance. And that's got to, I'm not a fan. He played in the 4-3-3, and I thought he was fine that night. Showed a lot of endeavour. But it just shows you, you know. But I get GB's point. The frustrations, the last 3 away games haven't been good enough. But at Ibrox, yeah, we've huffed and puffed, and obviously we've not been perfect, but we've been pretty damn close with the results. You know, a couple of slip-ups, and hopefully the good form at Ibrox continues on Sunday, GB.
Ox, 100%. I probably actually got no concerns about Ibrox in there because it seems to be a good feel-good factor about the place. And the team are, like, even with the Hearts game going behind constantly, and then they were G'd up to go on and win the game and convincingly win the game. So that side of the complaints, you just touched on a player there, Ox, about Asgard. That's what concerns me about the squad, is that we packed him on at the weekend, and again he offered nothing, mate. I know it's not doing to one man, but this is what I'm saying, that you're putting you're expecting him with a bit of quality to come on and
When
have a
did,
bit
he
of,
come, when did he come on, GB? As much as I don't like him, when did he come on? I'm actually going to check that out. I think it was about 85 minutes or something. I know he had that terrible shot. But when did he come on? Yeah.
But remember, he came on at that and he had another 10 minutes worth of injury time.
I know, but come on.
Mate, what I'm not expecting him to go and get a hat trick within 5 minutes. But what I'm expecting, mate, is a bit of quality. And he offered nothing. Not a jaw. He didn't even, what I say, take on a man or nothing.
73 minutes. It wasn't 85 minutes, 73. You know,
Right.
so he was on the park for what, 25 minutes. The time the game was all finished. He had that mental shot that he had, which I couldn't understand. Big Fernandez done the same. I'm not his greatest fan, but
I just think, like, see if we had better, mate. Like, you're
just jealous he's here. You're just jealous he's here. That's all it is.
I'm just jealous that other teams have got players that can come on and win them bloody matches, and we've got guys that come on and still don't offer nothing. And this is the time to offer something to the squad, man. Like, I mean, I know Gassama gets a bad rep and all the rest of it, but at least he creates like a foul, or he gets like that tackle again that goes a red card, and the boy, he influences a part of the game. Whereas, like I says, when you look at other players, Ox, where they need these, I mean, going by the squads of the past, Ox, you always had that one wee guy to come on, even like a Lafferty would come on and get a header. Look at, I noticed the headlines about Roof the other day there as well. Roof was never always a starter, but he would come off the bench and would nick that goal. I remember we had a sticky game during 55 against Motherwell at home, and it was looking all or nothing. And then the next minute, Roof popped up with a goal, and then the big boy we had for the striker came on as well, and he got us a goal. It totally secured the points, mate. I just feel as though
a big
Swiss guy. That's right, that one. And I just feel as though we're missing that, mate. That's all. That's just an opinion. I just think we're just missing that kind of thing.
You look at the Hearts 11, what about, you know? They take out Suter and Butland. Wow, we're a young team, eh?
Aye. That's. I was going to say earlier on. Actually, I think it's going to take a while for the experience in this team. I think Danny Rose just is throwing this team together. He's picked up from what Russell Martin's got half of that team, and he's added a wee bit he's in January. But it's relatively, when you look at the age group through the team, it is young, and it's probably still in its infancy and inexperienced in getting these things over the line. You know, you don't just at that age you've not got that experience yet about winning. You know, and winning as a unit, winning as a team. I still feel there's at times some of them are playing as individuals. I can see a team. I can see the spirit developing now. I've been watching that pretty close over the last few weeks, few months. There is a bit of a spirit and character building in the team. I can see that. I can see with their celebrations, making tackles, they're celebrating tackles and stuff. They're all enjoying playing, and I can see that part. But what they need to get in the next part, mate, is a team needs to come together and working as a unit, like midfield with defence, midfield with attack, etc. That all needs to start coming together, because that one thing we've always had with previous managers, Walter Smith, and managers like them, always been a good team where it's been hard working and a bit of flair involved for the European player. I've always said that I think we've always had a decent work rate. I think that's a given as a Rangers player. I think you've see this, the ones that keep mentioning. I'm going to use Chermiti as an example here. People will say Chermiti's only scored 4 goals. I think he scored for the whole season, and people will say that's not good enough for
a hat-trick against.
What has he got? Oh, sorry, aye.
Against Hearts, 2 against Celtic. When I went to school, 3 and 2's 5.
6.
Right,
5, all right.
yeah. That's minimal.
But what I was going to say, for a Rangers striker, people will argue that's not good enough, right? But throw in his work rate and what he does when he's up front in his cell, which I think is a big problem when he's up front in his cell, but I think he's very isolated. I think the work rate that he brings to the team, and there is goals coming from elsewhere in the team, so you sort of sacrifice all the goals, 20 plus a season, whatever we should be scoring, because other people need to chip in. I think Gary touched on it earlier on. I think he's looking for a finisher. He's looking for somebody, a fox in the box, that's going to get that 20 goal season, which helps you, takes the pressure off the team as well. If you've got a striker like that, and I'll give you an example, mate. See if we, this is just probably a crazy question to ask, but see if we had somebody like Bragg in the team for the Hearts boy, would he have been a difference who went and signed in January?
The Shankland, you can only be with the one you've got, mate. Yeah, and that's what we've got. We've got Madeira, who's come in, who's looked okay, scored a couple of goals and a pretty easy cup tie, but he's looked okay, very young, maybe raw, but very enthusiastic. Set up Chamiti lovely against Hearts with a decent game. I don't know how good a finisher he is because we've not seen enough of him to judge. Majowski, Majowski could have a big influence in the game. He had one shot with a good save on Sunday. And then he did header the ball in for the Mikey Moore incident. And I can't remember him touching the ball the rest of that off, apart from the 2 moments. So he's doing the pecking order. Buck is still a big part to play because it's no how many goals you get now. It's when you get them. I was going to call you all better there, GB, because it's the goals that will win you games now. That'll be massive. It might not be a lot, but they're the moments you need now.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, mate. It's just the moments. We need them. We need them all to kind of get that a moment each, and then these hard games coming in, Ox. And it just at times I don't feel as though we're getting the wee bit of luck that you've touched on before that you need in a title race. I think there's just, I don't know. I watched the game and I've seen the other draws that we've had, and it just looks, you're like, how can they turn up like that and then go and do what they've done with Hearts? Like, you think with Hearts constantly going ahead that it would have deflated the squad, and yet they still had it in them to go and win the game convincingly. And yet with the Livy game, they went down to 10 men and we started spraying the ball out the park. That the passing was honking, and you're just like, what are you doing? Like, I just don't get it. And it's that kind of moments, Ox, and we're talking about, it's the moments that you're like, that's not what's going to win you a title. That's what's going to cause us to look back and go, if you had just got your act together that day, we probably would have had the title in the bag.
I turn that frown upside down. He's got to enjoy the moment, isn't he, Port? Come on.
I get, to think where we were, right? Think where we were back, GB, right? And then think to what's happened. Probably the best thing that happened to our season so far was Danny Rowe getting signed and then them signing on Sky, right? That's probably the best thing that let us get back into this season. And I get your frustration, mate. I really do get your frustration in terms of, as you said, the last three away games, if we got better results in them. But we're in it, mate. We're in it. I think you've just got to, as Big Marvin says, keep believing. I just think, it's, I don't know, mate. I've just got a wee feeling in my stomach that it's just written in the stars. I really have. I just got a feeling that this is all going to come right. As I said, we've managed to get ourselves back into this title race with average form. Is that fair? Is that fair, do you think? I don't think we've all been totally outstanding under Rowe.
No.
Earlier on.
He's finding a way, mate. He's finding a way.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do in a title race, because get yourself back in, drag yourself back in it, which we have done in the form we've got. I just think the season's got to end well for Rangers. I think it's got to end well, as in form first of all, consistency, starting, get this away. I mean, we've been great at Ibrox, but getting this away record, we get this away record sorted for now at the end of the season, and as well as keeping up our home form. You would say we're not worried about our home form, but getting this away form dealt with and sorted, and I think we'll be absolutely fine. We've got 3 strikers. We've got Nadiri, we've got Shermiti and Miovski. Miovski's probably, I would say, he's probably the best finisher out of all of them. I think he's the one that's the guy in the box. He's done it for Aberdeen, quite enough. He's the one in the box, but because of that was a big interesting one for me at the weekend as well. I think, does he go big man, big man? I mean, I heard you mention it the other night, Fox, when you were on the old Bernard, but the formation, and it's, when I listen to you, I have to agree with loads of it. This 4-2-3-1, I don't like it either. I don't like it, because I'm obviously midfield man. I think you're on a losing battle the whole game. You're always fighting against 3 or sometimes 4, depending how who you're playing. Livy there was 4 against 2 in there at most of the times because they were playing a 5-4-1. But at times we just have to, I think, as you said, get back to the 4-3-3 we did against Aberdeen and go at them. And here's a question for you two: would you go Chermiti Miovski, so sort of big one, smaller one, or would you go with a double big man, Nadiri and Chermiti, and just go and try and smash them and then bring Miovski on there?
I know my
Would you
answer.
go?
I know my
Right,
answer.
go on.
But no, but I'll let my mucker go first because I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tickle him to cheer him up. GB.
Big man all the time, mate.
That's him. That's Mrs. GB's answer. What's yours?
Wee man. But Paul, I get it. I think. Do you know something? It's strange. See that 4-3-3. It's worked so well for us. It's actually it's brought us good moments. You think about Gerrard, Giovanni using that as well. They all kind of used it in different bits.
I don't know if Giovanni used it, mate.
I think when they first took care for Gerrard, didn't they? Did they not use it then?
I think a habit of using the system is more a 4-2-3-1, you know, but at times, but you know, that midfield, the players he had in midfield, you know, when they come in, you still had Ryan Jack when he was on the pitch, really good player. Stephen Davis on at the end of his career, Glenn Kamara, you know, Joe Aribo, they were a different level. Even in the midfield, we've got this now, mate. Scotty Arfield popped up, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. No, wasn't in the team a lot, but could come on and have an impact. Different level of player, in my opinion, mate. You know,
not yet. You're right, Box.
This young team, he's got John Lundstrom in that period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the few weeks, John Lundstrom was just, I don't know, you know, just
unstoppable.
Aye, the games in that semi-final, the two semi-finals, the
Dortmund game.
Aye, and then the semi-final, he gets a goal, changes to Seville, and then the semi-final, the way he played against that mob at Hampden, you know, so they were showing they were at a different level, but this young team could get there, and I'm with you, GB. I would play the two big guys, but it's not because it's the two big guys. But I think it's the best two players we've got for the positions at the moment.
That's fair. I particularly think I go with I'm with you. That's why that's the question. I would go big man, because I think Nadiri and Chermiti are better than just big men. I think they're pretty technical and all, mate. I think the two of them have got a nice touch. I've seen a lot of Nadiri's goals for his previous club. He scores all different kind of goals, mate. But he's also got, you know, I think it was the game of his debut. He slipped Chermiti in and goal and all. He's got a nice touch, mate, when he slipped Chermiti in on the inside right channel. And I thought, oh, you've got a wee bit more than just being a striker. So he's the one that for me, and he's got the work rate that could play a wee bit deeper and maybe let Chermiti just stay up a wee bit further forward. You know what I mean? So I think that young boy Nadiri will have a big, massive part to play if selected alongside Chermiti at the weekend, mate. But no, I understand. As I said, it's not the same Miovski doesn't come on at a later stage and be that penalty box striker that we need.
I'm a part to play, but listen, we better get the phone lines open. Yes.
Oh yes. Oh
yes.
Yes. Are we asking people what you playing? One or two up top?
Oh aye.
If you're playing two, who you playing? I think we all agree, which is unusual, GB, isn't it?
Aye, especially the first time, mate.
Let's hear from you.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view. So get off your bum and call 015
I've just done a bridge by myself. For anyone listening, that was Fox and Old School Blue together. There you go.
Brilliant, huh? I was about to go and get my chaps on there.
I was going to say, I went to bridge and I record that. Jeez,
Oh, no. Oh, do you remember?
oh.
People wouldn't get this, but do you remember a few years ago we had the race night, we had to do the advert? That was comedy gold, wasn't it? Oh, do you remember that?
No
Aye.
comment.
I do.
How
Thought
many
it was a
takes?
10-minute thing.
How many
Oh,
takes
man.
did you take, GB?
Oh, what was it again? I couldn't get my tongue around the last bit of the sentence. Oh, we need to get that. That's on a master copy, that, isn't it? Somewhere. And then remember Port was saying it about 100 mile an hour as well.
That was comedy gold. I think you were there for about 3 hours. I went for a shave and all that.
I remember that time we thought we nailed it. You came back and says, "Right, boys, let's do
No.
that again."
Oh dear, that was a while ago. Now, what was it? That was what, 4 years ago. Time goes by so quickly, doesn't it?
Aye, it does, mate.
Time goes by quickly. Listen, GB, I get your point. I even understand your frustrations, mate. I really do. But I think we're going to go in with the right attitude. And what I will give you is I didn't think we started the game well at all on Sunday. And I was really disappointed with our so-called senior pros. I thought Raskin, Tavernier, Suter, they all slowed the game down. And I think if we're going to beat the teams, I think we're going to play at a certain tempo and make it difficult for them. And we didn't. We played right into their hands in the first half. Yeah, somebody should have scored. Romans was unlucky. But I think most of the half we petered out, if I'm being honest. And so the frustration came for that. So I get your frustrations, but we've got to part that now and we've got to go forward. Agree?
Mm-hmm. Aye, mate. Aye, and a good summary of the game there, mate. You're right, and that's the thing. That's why I was kind of getting at, that I was very surprised, especially after what we'd done with Hearts. Like, you would think that would be the slip up, and you go, oh, well, expected that. But what I didn't expect for the team that day, mate, was that they came back and totally destroy Hearts. It made them look. I mean, when I looked at it after that, I was like, Christ, they're meant to be the title contenders, and we've just wiped the flavour of them in the second half. So that kind of actually gave me hope, because I was like, well, if we're able to do that with them, then we'll be able to do that with we'll be able to compete with the rest, no bother. But then, like you says, what happened with Livy, and it just kind of sets you back a bit. And again, I think hopefully we'll have a Hearts moment at the weekend, mate, that will give them the kickstart again. But we just want to keep it rolling, Ox. It's like I say, it's definitely. I'm really wanting them to do it. It's just the kind of wee moments, mate. I think it's been a very hard slog of a season. They've had to take on so much information. And whatever comes of this season, Ox, let's say, they've done well to even get back into the position they're in. And that's where I'm at with it. But there's a bit here that's that I just wish it wasn't a bridge too far for them. I really do hope they try and get it early.
We're winning Sunday and it gets closer, mate. We're going to keep behind Hearts, you know. We're moving behind them and we're on the rail, but we need to win on Sunday, mate. You know, that's how big a game it is. But I don't know if I would go with the exact same team as the Hearts game. I mean, I'm not sure about Olsen, but I never thought I'd see this live in Rangers Radio. But if we butt on down goals, I wouldn't mind 10 Romans on the park, because I think he's been excellent, mate, and I like the look of him. I think he hope he's raced for a long, long time and successful, but we might have a gem in my horn and somebody might come calling. But I don't know what you think.
Said it last Thursday, mate. I don't know if you remember saying it. I mentioned that he's probably the best I've seen since Calvin Bassey, mate. And I really mean that. I think 6'2", got a neck like Mike Tyson. Looks, good in the air. Defends very, very well. There's when Livy scored their second goal, mate, they were in again. And if it wasn't for Romans cutting out the front post, seeing the danger and behind me, see danger and behind me as well. And by the way, I'm not taking anything off his ability going forward. I think he goes forward at the correct times. He doesn't bomb forward constantly. He knows when to tuck in. He knows when to go, and I think he goes when he goes. It's when he sees, we're on the ascendancy, and it's time for him to move forward and get the positions and link with the left-sided midfielder. I think, as I said, that's probably people think I'm getting off my nut, thinking giving him praise to the levels of Calvin Bassey, because we know the levels that boy got to, and the levels he's getting to now with Fulham. So, and people maybe say I'm a bit, maybe too high praise, but not for me, mate. Out the signing so far for the season, Romans for me looks like the most accomplished and player. He's an absolute baller, mate. And as I said, he looks solid at the back. He looks very steady going forward. Got a nice left foot. I've seen some cracking crosses for him. Not been a lot of balls on people on the end of him yet, but that's not his problem. He's putting the ball in dangerous areas, mate. He definitely is. Our strikers and midfielders who are getting forward have to start reading his game better. And that's what I mean by a team. You should know what your fullback or your winger, whoever is putting that ball in the next, you should know where he's roughly going to have that and be on the end of it. That's when a team becomes a teammate, but you become almost like telepathic with each other. I remember Haitley and McCoist had a relationship like that. I remember talking about the Leeds game, the Battle of Britain, and when McCoist got that, he did it at the back post. Haitley said he didn't even look, he knew where McCoist was going to be, and he put it in that danger zone, and the wee man got on the end of it and scored it. That's what our team has to start gelling like, mate. That our team has to start becoming, like I said, telepathic with each other, knowing what they're going to do, knowing what the next move is, seeing that pass before your first pass. I mean, get your heat up, get your midfielders should have their heat up on a swivel all the time, mate. So should strikers, on a swivel all the time, ready to go, and then ready to move and take that pass for the next. As soon as you get the ball, you should be already having a look and putting that in behind the defenders for the striker. That's where our team is to jail, I think. Better, mate. I think we don't see it often enough. We see great balls, like I say, coming for Romans, coming for Gassam at times, coming for James Tavernier at times. There is some nice football going about the box, but our strikers don't go on the end enough for me. I just don't think it's because they're not reading the game the way they should be reading it at times, and they should know their players. But it's like, as you said, it's a young team. They're still building. You know what I mean? And as I said, we're back in it. I think for me, mate, we can touch on this. Sunday's massive, right? Sunday's absolutely massive. But our consistency has to keep going, mate. We've got 4 matches after this. St Mirren away, Aberdeen at home, Dundee United at home, and Falkirk away. For me, I don't even think St Mirren, we had some honking results against them. Aberdeen I seen Dundee United had a draw up there. Then there's Falkirk, who beat a difficult time against them, mate. So I think it just has to. It's the form for me, Oxford. The form has to be over these next 5 games. We're looking for.
If you win,
to be right in it. Aye.
I get
It has to be, mate.
I get it, mate. I get it. Aye, but it's one game at a time, mate. Because
Aye.
the next games can become difficult, or further if you don't win the first one. So one game at a time. But getting back to Romans, I don't know. I've enjoyed him, and I actually feel that the young boy Magoma has been unlucky, because I don't think he's been my worst player, but Romans has been a notch up. And I gave him a 6 on Sunday, and I gave him our best player. I thought he was the best football player we had in the park again. And I didn't think he was outstanding, but I think he done most things right, mate. And you say his timing, his run, he's excellent. And I think we've got a right good player in the runs. GB.
Aye.
I totally agree, Ox. And now we're talking about consistency. That boy's showing consistency for the day he got a shirt on his back, mate. And that's all we were asking for. And it's been a long time since we've had a signing like that can come in and it's not been a striking violet. I mean, every game he's turned up, you're like, oh, he's up for this. You know what I mean? He was up for it, to be fair, at the weekend as well, Ox. He was getting himself into positions and all the rest of it. So I can't fault him for that at all, And like Magoma, again, he's it's a Rangers thing, isn't it? That we Sod's Law, we've got two players that are actually on form, but they're competing for the same position. We never get it that we've got two guys that are bang on form either side of them. You know what I mean, it'd be good if the two wingers would just hit form together or something like that, or the two strikers would just hit form. It always seems to be somebody 1 week and then somebody the next. But big Romans, aye, mate, give me 11 of them. See, this is what I'm talking about. See if we had 11 of them, I'd be full of confidence, because you know that he's just got to keep going and going and going. And I think he makes the opposition make mistakes, Ox. I think when he's gone into the box, he makes them doubt themselves and stuff like that. I've noticed that with moments with him. It makes them make mistakes. Same with the Dairy as well. I noticed that with him as well, even with the Hearts goal, the own goal. The boy, as much as he lashed it in the back of his net, it was because the big man was in amongst that and all. So I think these guys have got something that, they can influence the game. None more so, on Sunday. And I've got no qualms that if Roman starts on Sunday, mate, I think he'll be very dangerous for us, mate.
Yeah, I'll be interested. He's in my team. In fact, I'll go to 40 say at this moment in time, mate, he's my first name in the team sheet. But
Aye, because, you know, when he came to the club last year, it took him a couple of weeks to get him up to, he was carrying a wee niggle, they said, but he had a wee injury, and we were all going, oh no, here we go, saying another player that's injured. But I don't think necessarily it would be an injury, mate. I think maybe coming to the level he's playing at in Belgium to playing full time. I know he's playing full time in Belgium, but you know what I mean, playing in a league where he's come into a league where we're back in the title race. There's a demand playing for Rangers. There's a level of performance is expected at Rangers. And I think over his training sessions to get into the team, and as I say, Magoma was a starting left back and he's not injured, mate. And then Romans you can only go to what our manager's seen in training, right? So what I think's happened is either Magoma has been, I don't want to use the word outed, mate. I just don't think Magoma will have a part to play. But what I mean is, Romans has obviously taken his place with his performances in training, mate. That's the only thing, because he wasn't playing in the games. He come on for a few cameos. Between them cameos and training, obviously, we don't know if Danny Rowe is a manager that likes fullbacks that fly, and you know are always up there and on the edge of that box and become part of the attacking team, or does Danny Rowe like fullbacks that can defend and get forward? You know, so that might be what it's been, mate. Maybe we've seen
maybe he likes
a bit
fullbacks
of,
that can do both. Maybe he likes fullbacks
well,
that can do both.
that was my next point. Or maybe he likes ones that can go forward and defend, which Romans can do. No, I'm not saying Magoma's not a good defender. I think he boy's been decent coming from where he's came from, and the Scottish football, a big massive team like Rangers. You know, we know what's required to play for the club. We know what to expect as fans. But I think so. Magoma's been steady, mate. He's been steady for a boy his age. But Romans has come in, mate, and he's actually taken that place away from Magoma, and I like that, because I'm hoping that spurs Magoma on. That's what I want to see from the team next year, and that's what I talk about team. So just what you do on the part on a Saturday or Sunday. It's what you do the part during the week. Magoma, I hope, is fighting tooth and nail to get his shot back and get back into that position. But I think he's going to have a hell of a job, mate, try to get Romans out of that position. I really do. I think he's got a real job in his hands to get him back out of that team, mate. Because again, special praise, mate. He deserves it, because he's been very consistent since he's come in. He's definitely shored up that left hand side of your defence. He's left footed, so it just makes all sense, mate, that he's come in and done well. And if that's sort of level of scouting we're looking at New Yorkshire, without going to that championship, may I add, without even looking at England, we've decided to go, you know, back to the continent, and it's worked. It's absolutely worked. So, you know, whoever scouted day players, mate, keep doing your job.
Aye. Listen, we're bumming him up here, and we're sort of a merit a weekend that we'll be eating humble, but hopefully not, because he looks a good player. You know, I think we've seen him now defending. We hadn't really seen that in a couple of the games. I thought he was excellent against Hearts. I liked his reaction when they got the goal and the guy had brought him down. You know,
Yep.
he came a bit tight. So I like him, but I mean, I've liked guys before and they've flopped, but we'll see. My first impression is he looks a decent player, yeah. He looks a decent player.
The Hearts game, Ox, like you says, mate, that would have been a telltale sign for character testing, wouldn't it? I mean, and he passed that with flying colours and all. And again, Livy with the plastic pitch and all that, you get players that are probably a bit dubious of it and no one to jerk their knee or anything like that. But yet there was no fear with him. He was still running down the line, he was still crossing it in, still trying to be dangerous, still defending well. So I think, see, come Sunday, he'll be one of the ones that's butting his head off the door trying to get on the park, to be honest, after the reaction they had with that Hearts player, mate. I think he'll be pumped up like hell to go out and absolutely grab a win for us, mate. Like you say, it's long may it continue that he's singing about Rangers. And just to touch on the report with Magoma's he's clean and tidy, but with Romans, you can tell that he's clean and tidy and dangerous at the same time. And I think that's why he's getting the nod in front of him. I think Magoma's just not dangerous enough at times.
That's fair.
I think that's the only difference between the two, mate. I think that's just, whereas, like you says, mate, maybe in training, Magoma might need to start like thinking outside the box. How can I create something, or how can I do something that's going to make somebody make a mistake, and then he might get a crack at it. But I think after these next couple of All Firm games, then you might see rotation. I mean, and it's, to be honest, it's good that you've got one good one maybe getting rested and one good one coming back in. That's always a good thing, you mean.
So if Romans doesn't get injured, mate, he's in that team every week for the end of the season for me. Yeah.
Unless Red Zone kicks in, huh?
Yeah. Mate, we're only playing once a week now, mate. You know, and obviously he'll be on the bench, young Magoma. So maybe if we have our noses in front, you're bringing players off, maybe. But we play this week. We don't play the following Sunday, didn't we? No? Sunday, is it? I've not even checked that for the head. All better won't let me. We play them in the cup. Sorry, I forgot about that. How can I forget about that? Right, so we play this Sunday and then next Sunday. And the games aren't coming quite as quick as fast now, you know. So, no, for me at the moment. And by the way, it is no slight in the young boy Magoma, because he's not been my worst player this season. Arguably one of my best assistant, but this guy just looks a wee bit different level. And there's not a lot in it.
Yeah, that's all it is, mate. I think Rollins also looks calm on the ball, mate. I've not seen him panic. You know, see when he's been in question, going the other way, going back and defending. That was my big thing for him. I like a defender that can defend. Oxford. I'm old school, right? So I like a defender that can, a solid back four. That's what I like. Like Sasa Papic, although a lot of people in the early days thought, what the hell is this? Sasa Papic for me, mate, is the sort of defender I like. He came in as a centre back, went to left back and made that place his own. And Sasa Papic wasn't a bombing fullback, but he got forward at the right times and became part of an attacking line that was successful. And I see some similarities with Papic and Romans. I think Romans looks better going forward than Papic. But I think in terms of being solid and all round unpanicked, just looks cool, mate. It just looks calm and collected when he's in possession, when he's going back, as I said the other way, getting tested by a winger. And then as I say, getting forward, I don't know, mate, it just seems to have like 10 seconds more on a ball, and that's a lot in football, by the way. 10 seconds more on a ball. It looks like he's got a wee bit more time on the ball, and I think that's just because he's a better level of player. I really do. I think that's what it comes down to sometimes. But you're talking about, minutes, seconds, and inches in this game, and he's certainly got, I think, seconds and inches ahead of other players in your team, mate.
That's just that. Just that. I think it looks a Rolls Royce. I don't think Papac's looked as accomplished as him, but Papac was 7 out of 10 every week, mate.
Yep. That's what you want.
Aye. Kept it neat and tidy, mate. I can't really remember Sasha influenced the final third that often, but he was available.
Yeah.
You know, he was a good player. And he came into us as a centre half, mate. Signed as a centre half, you know.
Paul Le Guen's best signing.
Oh, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt.
Aye, Paul Le Guen's best signing, mate. You know, he was there when Walter Smith and that got back as well, you know, and I think it was Walter that put him to left back, and I don't think we looked back after that.
I never looked back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Aye. That's in the sort of regard for holding this boy in at Oxford. You know, we're putting him in. I mean, Sasha's a Rangers legend. You know, everybody loves Sasa Papic, you know what I mean? So, because we appreciate what he gave you every game. Was he one of the top players? No, he wasn't. But you knew what you got out of him. And I think, I keep saying it in this show at Oxford, see the water carriers of the game, these guys are needed in a team. For a team to go there and win, when it's needing to be winning down and dirty, your water carriers will always carry you through, mate. And that's the part that I always say is a given for a Rangers player. You should be running through Brick was wearing their shirt. And that's the only thing I think some of your players need to add to their game. And I'm seeing it, you know, when I see Chermiti scoring, when I see, even when his teammates were scoring, I seen Chermiti, you know, celebrating with fans. I like to see that, mate, because it makes me think, and I'm hoping that maybe he is getting it, maybe does get it. You know, I've noticed some of the defenders getting, Big Fernandez getting really, really pumped when he's, you know, blocking shots and when he's defending his goal. He's enjoying defending his goal, mate, and that's part of the, you know, team coming together. They're all enjoying their jobs, what they're doing. You know what I mean? So that's I just high praise for Romans. I totally agree with what you've said about him. I really do. I think he'll have a big part to play at the weekend, going forward and defending.
Aye. It'll be interesting. Listen, if I'm honest, I hope Romans doesn't have a great match and we're talking about our strikers, GB. Right, listen, we'll come back to you after the tune. Get yourself in mute. And I think it's an old school blues special tonight. So get yourself in mute and hear what he's picked out.
There's a pub in Green Street where all good proddies you will meet. So come down here and together we'll have a jar. A welcome there you will receive, so good that you won't want to leave. A fine wee pub is Saltcoats Mermaid Bar. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. We all support the Queen and Crown. The prices here are the best in town, and the bar staff, they are one terrific crew. Everyone laughing, full of cheer. It's one tremendous atmosphere, singing to support the red, white and blue. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. It's nice to come to the Mermaid Bar when Rangers are playing at Ibrox Park. You'll forget your worries and all your cares, singing songs against the Thames before you watch the Rangers win. For everyone here supports the Teddy Bears. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. If you are up from Belfast town, Tyrone, Fermanagh or County Down, Armagh, Antrim or Londonderry shores, the Mermaid is the place for you, so come and have a drink or two. Next time in Saltcoats you'll want to come back for more. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all.
While you are sitting listening on your own, why not take part and give us a phone? We would love to hear your points of view, so get off your bum and call 0141 356 1972.
Classic tune. The old school blue there. Yes, enjoy it, boys.
Yep. I want to go to that Mermaid bar. That sounds fun.
They're no real mermaids, just to let you know.
Aye, they are.
Really.
Not according to my geography map.
You imagine him without sat nav, Port Bear.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I know what he mean. I know where to find them anyway.
He's no commenting. He's no commenting.
No. No, it's not, the
Neverland.
it's not the Mermaid bar, if we are.
What was it?
He knows what kind of bar.
What was a bit of geography you done a few weeks ago, GB? Remind me.
Oh, it was Algerian and
Albanian. Aye,
Do tell.
Barami, wasn't it? The Albanian.
Yeah.
No, the
Algerian,
I'm
Barami.
scratching my head. Who's he talking about?
The Algerian boy. Oh, you're close, GB.
Aye, just a flight mate, to get you there.
Easy jet.
No, it's that jet too. You need that wee jingle with it, don't you?
Aye, that's fair. And all that airplane tailors can also good are also good.
Right. Come and join us. Give your thoughts. Right. We've talked about Romans. We've talked about the strikers. I think us three agreed they'd play two up top. Yeah.
Yep.
And he might play the exact same team. I mean, I think they could all be fit, ready to go, as he did against Hearts, with Olsen. But if I'm honest, his form hasn't been particularly great. I thought it was poor first half and Sunday. We don't know. He might have got a knock for all we know. He was okay against Hearts. Played his part in that wonderful goal, the big Shermati goal. But I think that do we feel a wee bit underwhelmed? Is that fair, Port?
At the price tag they're shooting about for him, and the wages he's probably on, and the level of player we know that we signed, he's not turned it on me. I'm not going to hold that against him yet, because I think he didn't play a lot of football in the last probably 12 months,
Mm-hmm.
and We
Would
know
you-
how difficult a club.
At this
Sorry,
moment, in time, would you sign him?
No, not on current form, mate. No, but I don't want to be too harsh because I think I've seen enough of him. Because obviously the first time remember linked me this guy, I think a season ago, and before he went to Bruges, and I looked at him then, and I looked at him again before he came this time, and I've seen enough playing for Denmark, obviously. I've seen enough playing for Bruges. I've even seen enough when he was at Wolfsburg. You know, and there's definitely a play. You don't get nearly 50 caps for your country, mate, especially Denmark, if you're not good enough. And I just think we're not the easiest club to join next year. We're definitely not the easiest club to come into and hit the ground running. And I just think what's put him behind the eight ball right away is the fact he wasn't playing much. And I think once he gets up to the speed of the game, and I know we're running out of games, but once he gets up to the speed of the game, I'm still excited enough for Scott Wilson, mate, that you just keep playing him. You just keep playing him to the place through this wee phase. Because, like you said, against Hearts, that was great. That's what we want to see him doing. Going by players, and he's got a wand, a foot. He is decent. But he puts decent delivery in. He's good at he's taking corners. He is trying to get involved in the game and influence the games in many different ways, mate. But like I said, I just think it's a bit of form with him, and I think it will come because I do think his level of player will show up, and it has to show up this season. But that's the only thing. It has to show up this season, and I just worry there's not enough games left. 10 games to go. I just don't have enough games left to, continue to play him if he's not going to play at the level we expect, mate. I think that's fair saying that, but I would still start the weekend because I think with space, I think it's difficult to see playing against like Livingston and all these teams that sit with every single player behind the ball. It's difficult for any winger, Oxford. You know that, right? You played further forward than I did, right? So I think it's difficult to play against any team. Where that mob will come hunting and come and try and get a result at Ibrox, that's where he'll find the space. I'm hoping to hurt them. And he could be a vital player as well, mate. Like we're saying about Romans, Scott Wilson undoubtedly has the class and level to hurt them. It's just getting them space and getting them, where I think again against them in Europe, I think you see the best of Scott Wilson. But there's times where you might need to take him out against teams like, Olivey. But in my opinion, he's the sort of guy you want playing against them because you want him breaking lines, you want him taking players on in the wide areas, you want him getting near the striker. He's got a goal in him. You want him all around the box, Oxford. He just has to show it, mate. Again, I just think he's like a games this season, mate. He's like a games hurt him.
Yeah. Listen, but I get the slow burners thing, but this is the problem, and we want everybody to hit the ground running. But maybe being a wee bit naive at times, if I'm being honest, GB. But we just want players to do well, don't we?
Aye, we do, Ox, and because we're so keen, and probably again his position is that right side, the midfield, Ox, has just been a constant for us. We've been just praying for somebody to turn up and own that position permanently. Unfortunately, we've had guys like say Jamaica, no, not Jamaica. What do you call him? I'm not even going to say anything.
Where did he come from?
He came from Wolfsburg as well. Remember, he was on loan.
Tierney.
Like he kind of held down that, but again, we couldn't hold on to him because of the loan thing. So I'm kind of in that side with Oxford. You, I don't think we start him at the weekend. I think we need to go with the guys that are kind of showed form, kind of week in, week out. I know Gassam is no a flavour of the month, but I would be going with him and Moore, and then you're two up.
Gassam would be starting 11, mate. Just my starting 11. What were you put?
Not mine. No. Impact, mate. I keep saying it. I said it. I think he proved that game he came off the bench and got his goal. I think his form at the beginning of the season, he would have started him, but his form in the second half of the season, for me, mate, impact player. Use him last 25 minutes of a game when a team's been run ragged, and you bring that off your bench, that pace, that ability. and he's got to go in him, mate. He's proved it. So I think impact player for me until he picks up a consistent form again.
Aye. Also, what's your rationale for starting him? You think there's nobody else? Is that who you're thinking, GB? Or you like him? Would you play him on the left, right? What's your thinking?
I think he's in that kind of game, the Old Firm game, Ox. I think he'll have time to get in the box and do what he needs to do, like cut in and get that shot. I mean, see that the shot has been doing him well all season. I think he's got nothing to fear with their defence, especially like I says with him having a suspension as well. I think you just let him loose and just get him to run at them, make them make a mistake. I mean, and then like I says, we can freshen up later. I think with Big Nadiri up there, he could kind of cover the right side, and then you've got Big Chimeti. I think it kind of worked well in that second half of the Old Firm at Celtic Park, mate. I think that wee ball through to Moore and all that, after Gassama. I think as much as he's been a bit up and downy, I think he's just better. He's a better starter than Olsen. He's actually got his, like I says, as much as he was bad at the weekend, he got a red card for us. So I think he's a player that will make players make mistakes, mate. Olsen's not really contributing that now, mate, in the squad, I don't think. I know he played a great ball in for Chimeti and that, but I just don't think he's... I've not seen Olsen grab the ball and run out of defence and rip them apart, mate. I think Gassama could do that.
I don't think he has. I think that's fair what you've said, you know. I think you're fair. I just think he might go, my thinking is he might go with the same 11 that started against the Hearts. And they'd be surprised if Sterling comes back. You know, I don't know what you're thinking, GP.
I don't know. Do you think he'll be fit?
I think he just wasn't playing because of that pitch. That's what I think. He kept it
Right.
there. I've nothing to back that up. I'm just giving you my hunch, mate. I know I've been right before, but it's been a long time.
It's been a while, mate. But I would
About a night.
No, I would put Sterling in. I think he thrives on the kind of games as well. Ox. It's just about keeping this boy fit, isn't it? He would be in front of Tav all the time. Tav showed his frailties again weekend. I just think we just look a bit more solider when Sterling's in there. There's a bit more of a balance, I think. And we're not looking for Sterling to do a Tav run down wings and cross it in. That's for the boys in front of him to do. We're just looking for consistency on that right side and be solid. So I think we're looking probably, mate, if I was going to be your 4 at the back and then it'd be the 3 midfield, 3 up front, mate.
Aye, so what's your 3 midfield then? I mean, I think obviously Rasker, I thought he was poor on Sunday. Rasker will play. I think Tucci will play. Who's your other one?
Do you know, like, mate, again, mate, you're right. Raskin needs to pull his socks up and all. Like, he doesn't really deserve a place because he's kind of been coasting a bit. But I agree. I think he will get the start. The other one that goes in there, I think it'll be Moore, mate. I think it's got to be Moore.
Yeah, but I don't see midfielder, mate. I really
well, you know, I mean, forward, he'll not be like sitting deep like what Raskin does or anything like that. He'll be the one that you give the body and he'll drive with it. I mean, that's kind of, I would say more of 10. You know what I mean?
Where does your width come from with that then? If Moore's playing there, so
that's where I'm thinking like Gassama left, and then you're looking for Nadiri to kind of get out there on the right and try and help support that, mate. And then this is when we're flooding the box.
We need to get him each yard, don't we?
Drug test Monday morning.
Tomorrow morning, mate.
I'm giving him a chance to get his system, mate.
Like, let's face it, mate. They can't predict any positions because Chimeti at times is sitting in midfield running with the ball, and then he's running forward. You know what I mean? So like, you can't say that they're going to just sit up front all night. I mean, I think, like it says, they're going to have maybe Moore then out the right. I mean, Gassama left, and then do you play the Deary in the 10, and then Chimiti off him? Is it that way? Is that the way it's got to go? But I think then Moore's wasted out in a wing, mate. I think he's more deadly in the middle of the park.
No, I'm no serious on number 10. I didn't think Mikey Moore was the hero on Sunday because of when he got the goal, mate, but I didn't think he had a good game. I really didn't. What?
Mikey Moore?
Aye.
I think a lot of teams on Sunday, mate, I think they were very wasteful. The passing was doing it was ripping man out, mate. It really was. The passing was ripping man out. Tav, Raskin, Suter continually getting turned over on the ball, getting the ball away in the middle of the park, passed into people and been 5, 10 yards short at times. Somebody's going to get hurt with their passing, mate. That's my concern. And I mean, our team's going to get hurt with these short, slack passes. Against better teams, they would be ripped us apart and punishing us more. So we've been a bit lucky. We've been playing the level we've been playing at in terms of the team we've been playing against. I think that has to improve away. But Moore, he didn't do enough for me on Sunday, mate. He wasn't getting into the position he should. He did the second half. I thought he was much more influential. I thought he did go and try and link up, and I thought he was getting into good positions. And he took his header superb for a wee guy. You know, to get his neck muscles and flick that around the corner and get that in the bottom corner. It's a nice goal, mate. I've got to give his kudos there. But he has to, young boy, 17, mate. I don't know if it's fair to so much demand on him, mate.
I don't dislike Mikey Moore. I'm just saying that I'm critiquing what I seen on Sunday, mate. I'm not having a go. You know, I'm just like the whole team. He wasn't great.
Aye, and you know what? This is what I said with team earlier on, mate. You know, at times when your team's not playing well, you need somebody to drag the team for the scruff of the neck, or you need somebody like Mikey Moore. Do something magical, like curl one at the top corner, and it lifts the team, and you get that wee bouncer. The fans are roaring. It lifts you. You know, you get another 50% of your body because the stands are going mental. The team's up for it. It lifts a few other players as well. It's in your team. I think that's all get part of football, mate. It's all part of football, and that, you know, adrenaline gets you through games at times. But I just think we need more moments with players, Ox, here. Our passing needs to improve, and we need to start playing as a unit. That's that for me, and obviously the big word consistency, and we'll be fine. But for our forward players, mate, you know, it's not just Moore, Olsen, Chinmiti, Barjami, Miovski. These guys, Nadiri, they all need to start chipping in, mate. They all need to start chipping in and putting teams to bed. And we need to stop, as I said earlier on, we need to stop being this reactive team that we need to inflict pain to ourselves first before we start, you know, playing. You know, let's go out and enjoy a game, mate. I just want to see Rangers going out and be comfortable, mate, and this slack passing stop. You're only talking 5-10 yards at times, mate. And it's 5 years to the left, 5 years to the right, it's 5 years too short. And that's a lot, mate. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And it allows teams to turn us over. And if you do it against quality, you'll get punished.
And what I will say is, we've had a go at all the forward players, myself included, right? But if you actually think about it, against Motherwell, we never seen the game out. Bad defensive goal. 2 goals against Livingston. One's a cracker. Great finish for the lad. Well, the 2 finishes are good, but the second one, the defending was poor. John Suter's culpable of getting cheap free kicks away, gets under pressure. He wasn't great in the goals against Hearts, particularly the second one. You know, and we're experienced players in defence. Have they covered themselves in glory oil at times? You know, I didn't think Fernandes had a great game. I think the goal covered it up for him on Sunday as well. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe down to the surface, I'm sure, but I'm sure he's played in Arsenal before. But if they'd kept clean sheets at the right time, we see it the Motherwell game, we go to Easter Road, get a point, we beat Livingston, and we're in a different place, mate. A different place, actually. When we start looking at it in the last few weeks, it's not keeping clean sheets that has cost us the points. GB.
No, it's getting teams opportunities, Ox, isn't it? I think the manager touched on that. They knew that Livingston's opportunities were only really going to come for set pieces and free kicks. And Sod's Law, that's what happened. They said that that's exactly how it played out. We gave them opportunities and they hit a ball into the box for the first goal. And unbelievable that the boy gets a clean shot on it and puts it in the back of the net. I mean, if that was in the Premier League, they'd be raving about it, the goal. I mean, it's just our luck that this guy seems to just turned up on the day and get a worldie. And their second goal was poor. I mean, again, just allowing a team like Livingston to open us up and to have a nice clean shot at goal was just a criminal again. So ever since Stuart's been put back in, remember we had that kind of run that he wasn't in it because he was injured there, and it was just Fernandez and what do you call it, the boy in Giga? Aye. That was pretty solid. I mean, and this is what manager needs to understand as well. See when it's working well, just keep going with it. You don't have to be sentimental. I know John Suter's like part of the kind of captaincy and stuff like that, and we've gave him a new contract and stuff, but it should always be for the benefit of the team, Ox. And he said about Motherwell where he had to rest players because he got told certain things and stuff like that. I don't know, like sometimes when it's other things that's influencing, you just don't know. I think he's got to be stronger than that, and hopefully we'll learn from it. Obviously, if he's getting told you cannot play him, then there's nothing he can do about it. But I just think sometimes it seems as though he shoots himself in the foot with things when he doesn't need to. John Suter's a good substitute to bring off the bench if need be, to shore up a game. But this is the way, like you say, if it's all informed now, then John Suter the last couple of games, mate, it's been shaky.
I don't disagree with that. I don't think he's been great. You know, I thought he was a wee bit naive. That's a word I would use on Sunday when he's defending. Would that be fair, Paul?
Aye, but his experience, mate, it shouldn't be naive. With the experience John Suter's got in your league, and he's international experience, because I've watched him play for Scotland as well, and he's been pretty solid. He's been pretty solid for an international level. And if he doesn't pick his form up, mate, he might find himself not going to the World Cup, in my opinion. I think he's been, that sounds bad, I think he's been at times. And I appreciate, I said it last Thursday, I appreciate that we kept him and we got him on another year contract, because I do think you need that Scottish influence and that, you know, he's probably a third choice, mate. That's my honest opinion. He's probably a third choice, but it made total sense to re-sign the guy with his experience in the league. Rangers fan, you know, he ticks boxes that I keep saying we need more of, and that's that Scottish influence. I keep saying it. So I think that's sensible we signed him on. But since Giga, in my opinion, lost form before he went to African Nations. When he came back for African Nations, I think in a few games that was obviously international club, it seemed to have lifted him. And when he came back, I think he's played decent. And then he found himself out of team when Suter came back. So, but when he's come on, he's looked solid again. Because when he first signed him, I thought he was walking through this league with his slippers on. I was excited with Giga when we first seen him go to the Rangers scene. But I think the manager, as Gary says, he's got to put sentiment out the window. And I think the strongest pairing we've got, mate, in my opinion, is Giga and Fernandez. That'd be my two centre backs for the weekend, mate.
Wow, that's a big call. As much as I've been critical of Suter, I can't criticise the manager when they brought him back in, because I would have done the same thing.
At that point, aye. Yeah. Aye. Because Giga's form was terrible, mate. If you remember right, we were.
I actually thought Giga was our best player against Motherwell, and we've not seen him since.
No.
You know, but listen, what do I know, Porter?
Aye, I know, mate. I know. You
know
know
a lot.
Was that a TV?
I said, you know a lot, Ox.
Nah, he's full of broken bottles, mate.
I think
the Oracle.
the Oracle. I think
the Oracle.
seeing Sunday, like the manager would be damned if he did and damned if he doesn't, isn't he? It's that way. Like he's got to put Suter in because he's Scottish and he's got experience in all firm games and all that carry on. But like if Giga turned up with his form that he had and Fernandez turns up with his form he had, there'd be a masterstroke because I think he'd be able to handle him, no bother. But John Suter's got this kind of Welsh in him that what Celtic's got. He's got this mad mistake in him, and but unfortunately, like it says he'll probably go with Suter at the weekend. But Giga again, you'd end up putting him in, and the next minute he'd play a ball to a Celtic player or something like that, and it would cause a goal, and he'd be like, "Oh, you should have started John Suter." So it's a catch-22, I think, with that choice. But if he goes with Suter again, then Suter's really got to produce, because if he doesn't, then I think the manager's got to be fair to the squad, mate. Got to change it up.
I think Suter plays, mate. But being honest with you, I didn't think he was great the last 2 games, but I think he'll be in the team, mate. And if I'm being really pushed, I might play him myself. Yeah, and even though I gave the Giga man of the match against Motherwell, I'm actually contradicting myself, but I think I would pick Suter. I know that maybe doesn't make sense, but
No, I get why you would pick him. I get why you would pick him because at times the last Old Firm game and the one before that, I thought Suter was decent. I think Suter decent. It just sometimes it's like GB touched on earlier on talking about mistakes in players. It's like the Hearts game. I blame Suter for the Braga goal because I thought you're a foot bigger than him, and he's absolutely out-muscled you and out-jumped you for that goal that he got when he headed it back across the keeper. And I don't think a player Suter's level that we expect should be getting beat off Braga at the back post, caught under the ball, and caught in his heels. On your toes, mate. You're on your toes, bouncing in that box, waiting for that to go in. You clear everything, including Braga. I just think these players, mate, have got to go and for 90 minutes, not 45 minutes, not 45 minutes, mate, this needs to stop. For 90 minutes, good blood and thunder. Absolute blood and thunder, mate. That's what these players have to do. And not just show up in the big games. Cause that's one thing I've noticed as well. And it's they seem to be up for the big games. And then Livingston happens. That's really annoyed me. And it'll probably annoy me now if we get blast them in the weekend as well. But I wouldn't be angry if Suter got picked to start. But I'm just saying, me personally, and on current form, I would go with Giga and Big Manny. Although I didn't think Manny was good. The Livingston game, I thought he was caught ball watching at times as well, and I thought he was caught flat-footed, made a lot of poor passes. So I think he needs to pick up his form again. Because I think don't get too big for your station, mate. Just get yourself composed and you remember your station. You're not made it yet. And I think sometimes when I've seen the last few interviews with him, mate, he's been acting like Billy Big Boss, and I think he needs to just rein it in a wee bit and just keep playing your game, son. Because I do see a massive improvement next year. If a player wasn't getting a team for the start of the season to what we're seeing now, I'm happy with that big fella, Big Manny. I like him.
Do you think he's naturally left-sided, mate? I don't.
I don't know. No, I don't. Definitely not. I think his strongest side would be on the other side. I totally agree with that, mate. But I think it just goes to show you that he's favoured on that side because Suter's got to play on the right, mate. 'Cause we've seen Suter on that side, and he's even worse than he is on that side, on the right side. So I think that's why Big Manny's obviously been asked to play there. They trust him more, even though it's not his favoured side. They trust the big fella. He's definitely, his distribution's better than Suter's and all, mate. Big Manny, his distribution, passing wise, if you look at his stats for it, I think he's got is it 83% passing rate he's got, mate. He's got a high average of passing rate. And the money ball, in terms of football, this is why he's getting attention drawn to him because his aerial duels in both boxes, he wins over 85%. I said his passings, I think it's over 83%. He's got high numbers, mate, for his footballing attributes. That's what I was looking for. So I think. I think
That's your
sorry.
with the Hoff, mate. with the possession and their passing, mate. See the way the game is now, mate. They knock 20 passes between 5 yards between three of them, don't they? And it will say it's 100% accuracy, mate. It really is a mental start, you know. And then you make an 80-yard pass trying to maybe switch it or go long, and you're 5 yards out, and somebody says, "Oh, he didn't make it." It's mental, isn't it?
Aye, that is. Yeah, it certainly is, mate.
Aye. Aye, aye. Listen, I think Fernandez has improved, and he's obviously a decent agent. Look, I don't have a problem. I don't want to lose my best players, but if people are talking about my players and bumming them up and saying that people are looking at them, that means they're playing well. GB, I'm happy with that.
Aye, Ox, aye. Got to progress and recycle, mate. It's the only way we've got to get better as a squad, mate. When there's more money to play with. Like it says, Port says that the money ball hanging, like everybody wants to come in and chuck 20 million at it after a season, then by all means. I mean, it's that I'm all for it, Ox. I've kind of lost that. Is unless we were like constantly pushing for titles, then I'd be wanting to hold on to our best players as long as possible. But what I says, when there's time to, as we've seen in the past, when there's times to recycle and we've no took it, it's cost us heavy, mate. I mean,
if somebody wants to go, I'm a great believer. You make your deal and you move on. I know. I don't care if you're a star player or you're middle of the road player. If somebody wants to go, I'm a great believer in that. This doesn't always work out. Some people stay the deal all right, but that's just my rationale.
In this day and age, sorry, mate. I'm saying in this day and age, mate, it's important, like you say, to just stay business, mate, and move it on. And then because there you go, you end up with a Romans, don't you? It could end up with that, and then again you get him for a couple of seasons, you recycle again, mate.
You know, probably you put.
I've always said that if a player wants to leave your club, let him go, because I don't like getting through all that stuff and handing transfer requests and all that crap. You know, just if you don't want to be your club, then you shake hands and we move on. In terms of transfers, I think also to add to that, it's great that clubs now are looking at their players, because that's what we are. Previous hierarchy always mentioned the 4 pillars, and that was one of them, because where we are at a club at the moment, it was almost, get them in cheap and sell them on for, treble the money. That was the idea, to make money for the club. So I think I would love to get sentimental with players again next year. I've became cynical in my old age. I just don't think there's any trust in football now. You don't get to attach to a player nowadays, because you're just waiting on them, because you could be a fan's favourite, as you said. It's like Raskin for me. I love Nico Raskin, right? But am I attached to him as the way I used to be with Barry Ferguson? Nope, I'm not. Because there's no loyalty up here.
You're a lot older than you were when Barry Ferguson played, mate.
I know, but I've still got my fans' favourites now, mate. But as I said, because of the loyalty in football, I find it very difficult, mate, to be loyal to my players that I love. I really do, because I just think, you're a couple of games away from moving away from my club, and people come in for you, and possibly your heat getting turned, and then you're off out the door. And they don't care now, Oxford. They don't. As I said, they don't care. I've said it on the show, but before, they're mercenaries. They're just the highest bidder. Whoever pays the most wages gets the player, and that's I find it dead hard to get attached to players now, mate.
Aye, I get that. I'm not talking about necessarily the price tag or whatever. I just genuinely believe if somebody, the club will know, the dressing room knows if somebody doesn't want to be there. I think it's always time to move on, and for the better of the team ultimately. I think that somebody doesn't want to be there at any level can cause a bit of damage. Nico Raskin, Nico, I don't think has been great for the last few weeks, but we know if he plays, he's really a good player. We've seen it in the past. But hopefully plays on Sunday, because he has had decent games against them in the past. But economically, as a club, we'll be at the peak of the powers. He's got 2 years to go in his contract. So if the deal's right and he wants to go, I think you shake hands and move on. That doesn't mean I want to keep losing my best players. It's just that I think if somebody wants to go, GB, that's the point I'm making.
Oh, yeah, they want to go, then you've got to make the deal happen. I think it was Cantwell recently, wasn't it? That the manager said to him certain things, and he's like, "No, I'm adamant that I want to get a move away. I need to go. I don't want to play under this anymore." So he just got to do it. And we probably lost out heavy on that because we got him for a free transfer originally. But you just got to get it moved on, Ox. So there's no point keeping holding. And I mean, when you look at it, like teams like Seville, how well they do it with recycling players, season after season, they were losing players, but at the end of the day, they're still turning up to European finals and all the rest of it, Ox. So there's blueprints out there, and if we get it right, Ox, and we start rechurning, what we don't want to do is we don't want to keep bringing in money and the squad doesn't progress. And I don't think we've got owners like that. I think we've got owners that are ambitious. And I think once we strike it right, Ox, it should just be a nice wee conveyor belt. Here, a nice new player come in, a couple of seasons, and then the form player goes out. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's getting the deal right. Getting it right. You maybe try and make a deal with somebody. You try and extend their contract. You don't leave the club exposed. We'll never have a scenario where every player there's no one player who runs down his contract. It's not in football. It's going to happen. Who it is, I don't know, or when it is, I don't know, but it will happen. You know, because the game's changed, and we'll be frustrated because I sold him 2 years ago. But if he doesn't want to go and nobody comes in for him at the time, the people will run down their contracts. You know, we take people at the end of their contracts, so it's just part of the game now. You have to accept. But if there's an offer for somebody who wants to go and it's no far away, make a deal and move on. But it's not the time to really concentrate on that. It's the time to think about how it's going to go on Sunday.
Aye, Sunday, it's all about Sunday, mate. As I said to you, we touched on the importance of Sunday a wee bit earlier on. Last Sunday's results, the weekend results away, gone. Now we kick on, and these next 10, mate, have to be the best 10 of the season so far, in my opinion. We need to get the sleeves rolled up, and if it has to be pragmatic, mate, we have to start getting the ball long to the two big men. I don't care, mate. I just want this team to be running through brick walls. You know, it's not thunder, the whole lot, mate. I want to see it all. I want to see 12 men making the place as hostile as we can make it for them. Horrible atmosphere, you know, all the blood and guts you get when for them game. I want it all. I want everything, mate. So I'm absolutely buzzing about the game. This is even tonight's wee shows even gave me more, you know, adrenaline for the game at the weekend. I can't wait, mate. I really can't. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for the season's end, mate. These next 10 games, if we get this right, then in my opinion, there's only one team that's lifting the trophy, mate, and it's Rangers.
Oh, you're right, mate. GB.
Aye, Ox, as always, it's that midfield, isn't it, that's going to dictate how we get on Sunday, and we're needing what you might have done at Celtic Park, mate. We're needing that kind of moment for a player that he just goes in, rattles 2 goals into the back of the net and basically shakes them, mate. Scares them. That put the frighteners right up them. That collapsed them with scoring that quickly. And then Moore's goal was just icing in the cake, mate. So I think we're going to need a moment like that again. We're going to just need to grab the game and go and take it. And I think as soon as we do that, mate, you'll see across the city collapse, mate. It'll be an easy afternoon, I think, after that. If we put the frighteners up them, mate. I think because you've seen what happened. You've seen what happened with Stuttgart, man. You've seen what happened with them. As soon as they started notching up the goals, it was good night Vienna. And I think if we do that to them, mate, especially what we can do in a first half sometimes.
Wow.
If we have it, I've got confidence that we'll put them to sleep, mate.
Wow. I can't keep up with you, bro. He had his we're not winning an hour again before the show. He's got his winning by 3 or 4 at the weekend. I'll take any victory, mate. I'll take the Joe Arable when we thought he'd scored a goal and he never touched it and we never had a shot at goal. As long as we score one more than them, I don't care. What more?
I'm the same, mate. I couldn't care if the wee Irishman Ricochet popped up in the last minute at injury time and scored, mate. As long as we get the win and 3 points on the board, that's what I care about, mate. I don't care how we win it. Obviously, it's great to win it with, as GB touching on, 3 or 4. That would be a dream. That would be absolutely fantastic. I've got a predicted score in my head, and I think you might think it's a bit OTT, mate, but I've got a score in my head that I think we'll win by. I think it'll be a win, definitely. And I think it'll be wider than you think, mate, if you think it's going to be tight.
I hope you're right, mate. I hope you're right. You know, but I'd take anyone, mate. Anyone on Sunday.
Aye, yeah. Definitely. So it's all about the results in the Ox year. See, even if it's stumbled across the way the season's been going so far, it doesn't matter, doesn't it? No, if it's 1-0 for now to the next 10 games, if the results same at the end of the season, do we remember the results Ox year? Do we remember how we got there? We don't remember how we got there. We just remember that big shiny thing's in the trophy room. You know what I mean? That's all we remember. That's my opinion on it, mate. I don't care how we win it. Just win. I'm like that in regards to football or any sport I watch, like even the boxing. I think boxers, I think any sport, that should be your main focus. Win. Whatever sport you play, win. That's what makes you feel good. That's what brings you kudos. That's what brings you, tokens with your fans. These are all the things that push you on to be a better team. Start winning games together, start winning titles together, and the confidence grows as a team and as a unit develop. The next one you win, the next title you win, it's easier to go over the line next time because you've got the experience. That's the only problem this squad's got. They've not got the experience yet of winning trophies together. And you and I know, GB, you know this as well, mate. That's the hardest part of football, is getting titles over the line. And if this young team start to get this right, guys, this could be the sensational turn in Scottish football. And if Rangers can keep this team together and they continue to develop under Rowe and Rowe develops into the manager that we believe he's going to be, then we're on the right track, in my opinion, guys. We're on the right track.
Aye. Listen, mate, I just think these games, you have games in a season, the Hearts game might have been one of them. This is another one came in right quickly. Obviously, cup ties. It really doesn't matter. Performance, not really that important. Result, everything. GB.
I'm trying to do 2 things at once. I'm trying to get an answer and get off mute. It's the results that matter, Ox, and like he says, it's he's got to be worrying about a draw at the end of the season, Ox. I just think like it can a good performance, Ox, and a great result can really boost the confidence. And like you says, in a young teammate, I think if you kind of get that Hearts moment on Sunday, mate, I think it should give us the bounce to go and fight for a title. But I'm concerned again if it went the other way, how the team would react to that. But I can only see, like I said, I've got no worry about Sunday. I just think we've proven that we've got players that can hurt them. They're terrible at the back, and as long as, like I says, we don't start the way we started against Livingston, is that kind of, we'll just keep a hold of the ball and we'll take our time. No. We've got to start the way we started against Hearts. Front foot, right out the park, getting about them. And the only thing is where I'll be more calm this time, and where I've probably not been calm the last few All Firms, is that when we've went and lost a goal, I've kind of went, oh, here we go again. We've buggered it. But I think this time, even if we lose a goal to them, I still think we've got it in us to go and win the match because we've proven that we can do it.
Look, I'll say it again, mate, performances, and look, these games are unpredictable at the best of times. Poor form at Ibrox, yeah. Hopefully sees over the line, over the seasons. Yeah, we've dropped a few points, but we were pretty much robbed against Hearts at Ibrox. If I've been honest, we look back at that, that'll be a major talking point depending on how the league pans out. But we have to turn up. And that means that we don't make it hard for ourselves. And then hopefully we have enough quality to maybe get the goals. As long as it's 1-0 on them, I don't give a jot.
No, that's a fact, mate. That's a fact. And regardless how we win, as I say, it's as long as it's a win. I'll give you my score, mate. I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was going to keep it a wee secret, but because I don't like to jinx things. But I'm going to go for a solid 3-1 win at weekend, mate. I think we're on the cusp of something this season, and I've watched enough of them. I've read about enough of them over the season so far to know they're on their knees, mate. And I know people will say form goes out the window in these games. It doesn't matter what form, who's been in better form. These games take care of themselves, and I get that. But if we've got any ambitions, Oxford, and this is how I say earlier on that this season's on a tightrope for this weekend, because in my opinion, whoever loses are out the race, mate. I strongly believe that. I strongly believe it, Oxford.
I don't see how you get that, mate. If we win and they beat Aberdeen, they're still only 2 points behind us.
I know, but I just think, and with the swing, see the momentum. That's what I'm getting at. It just could have such detrimental effect on the one that loses it, mate. I really think that. Honestly, I really do. I think this is how big this game is. It's just the momentum. I know mathematically it's not impossible, but the momentum swing, I think the pendulum goes away with their team for them to progress and push on to go and finish the season. And the sort of mindset for me would be that's them at the road, now concentrating, hunting Hearts down. That'd be my mindset. Get them out the road and you go after them with everything you've got for the next 9.
What are you saying, GB?
Sorry, GB.
I was just going. No, you're fine. No, I was going to say, Ox, like you've mentioned that you're wanting the 2 up front, mate. Like, and I know you've got the show tomorrow. You don't need to give away your full team, but like, how are you seeing us? How are we going to compete in this game at the weekend? Is it got to be the 4-3-3? The 4-4-2?
Well, he sort of played. It was a version of the 4-4-2 with Olsen and Moore, but you couldn't say that they were midfielders tracking back. So it was near enough it was a 4-4-2 in possession, trying to get them, but they've not got defensive bodies. They maybe chase, but they didn't have. So it was pretty much against Hearts. It was at times a 4-2-2, wasn't it? So look, I think Diamandi's been at the team, and we've been really critical, and I think we put him at the team when he's played his best football of the season. Where he's had a knock of that, I don't know. I think it might be time for him. Maybe he's a sub. I think he'll definitely go with in the midfield, Raskin and Tucci, and it's how you set up. If you go with the same team against Hearts, it could actually be the exact same team as against Hearts. Because you get the impression that Danny Rowe wants his new players on the park. Romans, Tucci, Olsen, and Big Derry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm maybe reading too much in it, but that's the impression I get. What?
And rightly so. You trust your own lieutenants, don't you? That's what he wants. He knows he's brought these players in because he's always had knowledge of them and he's known who they are. Certainly Nadiri. I think any manager worth his salt that's brought players in, I think he wants to see his players in the team. He's brought them in for a reason. He's not brought them in to make up numbers. they've been brought in as starters this year. I know people maybe argue that Romans is young and Tucci's young, but he's brought them in because they've got experience and we believe they're a level above. My midfield three would be. I'd be tend to go with Raskin, Tucci, and Diamande in midfield because I think the Diamande certainly gives you legs as well, Tucci as well, and that's the three midfield I would go with. That's it, my midfield three. I'd have Moore and Olsen, and I would probably start Jermaine. Cause I don't think you've got. I've got a feeling, mate, he might not go to up front. I really think that. I really don't think that. My team that I've got wrote down was Butland, Rollins, Manny, Giga Tav, Raskin, Chucci, Diamande, Moore, Olsen, and Jermaine. That's the team that I picked, mate.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. And can you give the nationality and the place in the world to all the players, GB?
Let me get back to you after Sunday, mate.
Oh, dear.
I think they're all based in Scotland now, anyway.
Well, just for the record, I've got his secret Santa in already. It's a globe.
I'll get him an encyclopedia.
You know me in an atlas.
Nah, whatever. I'll get them both. He's a good boy. I'll get them both.
We're definitely not on the naughty list, that's for sure.
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. Well, sometimes.
Remember that jumping I got you, GB?
Oh, aye. That's that gets pulled out on special nights, mate.
I bet you it does.
It's like bullseye. This is what you could have had. You know what I mean?
No many people can jump like that, have we?
No, but it's a statement, mate. I like a statement jumper, so it's good that way.
Oh, he does. He needs one at Christmas night out, mate. Of the cracker. His Christmas jump was a belter.
It's a one-off, that. One-off. You know, took a bit of knitting that did. Right, okay. Look, I don't know if he's maybe appear tomorrow night, if he's a thing that you throw in there, but you're thinking you might phone in, obviously you'll join the show on Sunday to hear your Tuppen's worth, but if we don't hear from you, say what you think, get it off your chest. GB.
Well, like, for me, it's got to be a 2-0 result. Like I says, I do think Gassama's going to start just because I think his pace can hurt them. Do I think, like, say what Port's saying, is he better off the bench and then hitting tired players? Possibly. But I just think they're there to be got at. I think if you just hammer them constantly, mate, and then let's say we'll go probably Ant-Man, it can come on, change it up off the bench and stuff. I think we've got players there that can just go, like, constantly knacker them out, Ox. And I think that's what's going to win us a game, is us being pace and power. I know they say about attitude and all that in these games and stuff like that as well, which we all need. But like I say, I just think, see if we just keep getting at their defence and opening up, mate, and like we've done at that second half at their place, that's how we'll win a game, mate. That's how we'll absolutely dominate the game. Whereas if we go out with the first half performance at Celtic Park, then it'll be the usual uphill struggle for us, unfortunately.
Won't be.
Aye, as I said earlier on, mate, blood and thunder. I think our team has to stop making mistakes, making it hard for ourselves. You know, they cut out these naive mistakes, to cut the slap passing out, win the battle in the midfield, mate, and you'll be 90% of the way there. As I said, I believe it's going to be 3-1. A pretty convincing 3-1 at that. That's how strongly I believe, mate. Cause I'm like GB. I feel they're there to be got at. I feel they're a team that's hurting, and we just have to go and put the final knife in their chest, mate, for the weekend.
Yeah. Right, last word to your good self, Port Bear.
I just did.
Oh, that was your battle cry.
No, aye, thanks for having us
Oh, well,
on, mate. That was
mate.
great. Aye. No,
Right,
good to be on my mates. Good to be on my mates. Yeah, that's a good wee night again. I enjoyed it, mate. Thanks very much. Cheers, GB.
GB.
Right, thank you, boys. Thank you for again another educational show, as always. Like I says that after I know I started at a 2 the night, Ox on the wee Richter scale, but I think we're up to about a 7 or 8 now, mate. I'm looking forward to the show tomorrow, and then like you say, you're just wishing the time away on a Saturday, mate, just to get to that Old Firm game. So I really do hope the next time we speak, Ox, we're in a very bouncy mood, and my prediction of the bridge too far is definitely been crushed, hopefully. So all to tell on Sunday, mate, and I says here's hoping that it's a fantastic result, and like I says, it gives the team the boost that they need. I think they're needing another wee injection of adrenaline, Ox, just to push on for this title. It has got to be a hard slog, like you says, mate. But again, if they just get there's nothing better than getting the boost of confidence and beating your closest rivals, mate. Because like I says, if you're convincingly beating them and you've convincingly beat the title challengers, which is Hearts, then these next few games they're running, mate, all you just need to do is running that confidence, running that wave.
Aye. Well, every 3 points is vital at this stage, and obviously it's always sweet to beat them. Listen, thanks to GB and Port for doing the show tonight. Old School Blue for doing the technicals in the background. Able assisted in his absence, I may add, maybe out somewhere, Mr. Fox. But Old School Blue was set up by the one and only Fox. Thanks for listening, everybody. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Takes are cheating. I hear they run the GCC. I hear the titles are tainted, and I hear they pay the SFA because we're Brits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew, Big Jock knew. Try to hide the story. I hear to this day they still deny. I hear it's swept beneath the carpet. We all know the Tigs were born a lie, because we're Brits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew, Big Jock knew. Tell your story, then maybe you'll sleep at night. Why don't they pay the victims money? But then I don't suppose that's right, because we're Brits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew, Big Jock knew, because we're Brits and true, and we're Rangers through and through. We all knew,